Just think about our daily reality for a second. The pinching, the measuring, staring in the mirror, focusing entirely on our waistlines. It is so deeply ingrained in us to view fat simply as a problem, right? Something to be eliminated. But, as these researchers in the Journal of Clinical Investigation reveal, that extra layer is doing a whole lot more behind the scenes than we've ever given it credit for. It is a completely different story than the one diet culture feeds us.
For the longest time, the myth was that fat is just a passive reserve, a biological storage unit for extra calories that just kind of sits there doing absolutely nothing. But the reality? Totally different. Fat is a highly specialized, dynamic, and active organ. It's a vital tissue that's actually working around the clock to keep your body functioning. So fat is absolutely indispensable for your physiological balance. It actively regulates energy and fundamental bodily processes. Far from just sitting dormant, your adipose tissue, which is just a fancy scientific term for body fat, works massive overtime to maintain your overall health. It manages how you use energy. It's constantly communicating with your brain and other tissues to keep your metabolism in perfect harmony. In that way, it acts very much like a liver or a heart. Its job goes way beyond mere storage. It literally dictates your general health status.
Now here's where the research gets incredibly fascinating. Think about the two absolute extremes of body fat, whether someone has a massive surplus or, surprisingly, and this blew my mind, a severe insufficiency. A failure in this organ triggers the exact same severe metabolic disorders. Let that sink in for a second. The core problem isn't inherently the amount of fat you have. The problem is when the tissue itself stops functioning properly.
Scientists actually found their major clue in a condition called familial partial lipodystrophy type 2. It's a very rare genetic anomaly where fat distributes abnormally across the body. Now, for researchers, this was like finding a biological gold mine. It provided a pristine, isolated environment to watch exactly how the fat organ breaks down on its own. By studying this specific genetic condition in both mouse models and patient samples, they could isolate the pure, raw mechanics of fat failure, completely removing any confusing outside factors like diet or lifestyle.
It's basically a microscopic domino effect. First, the cells fail at their main job. They lose the ability to properly store and use lipids. This failure sends the whole body into a total panic, sparking an immediate inflammatory response. That defensive inflammation then acts like a chokehold on the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell. That causes their energy production to just plummet. Ultimately, the tissue simply withers and atrophies. It is a disastrous biological story happening right under the microscope, leaving the organ completely unable to perform its life-sustaining functions.
Just look at the systemic fallout. When adipose tissue loses its structural and cellular integrity, the entire body suddenly struggles to manage lipids. On top of that, the fat organ stops secreting crucial metabolic hormones. And without those hormonal messengers acting like the body's traffic directors, your whole metabolic system crashes. This directly paves the way for severe, recognizable pathologies. We're talking type 2 diabetes and hepatic steatosis, which you probably know better as fatty liver disease.